Folks, it's been a while since we checked in with our good friend Dave Rubin, and I just have to say, I think I know what this segment is about, but I have not watched this. And let's take a look. I have a hunch that Dave Rubin is about to clap like a seal for Elon Musk doing a 1350 meme about how, like, African Americans make up 13% of the population but do 50% of the violent crime. You know, something that, like, has been turned into a meme by the most racist people on the internet. I remember it being, like, a big thing years ago in the 4chan circles and on, like, Stormfront and stuff like that. That's my guess. Maybe I'm wrong. And it's not going to go in this direction. But, let's find out, shall we?
This is super interesting when it comes to cold, hard numbers. This is from Amiri King, who's an ex-commentator as well. You want to know something that should make you very uncomfortable? White people are victims of black violence at insanely disproportionate rates. It's not even close. Between 2017 and 2021, black on white violent incidences totaled 2.38 million. White on black totaled 0.37 million. That's a 6.4 to 1 ratio. Annual victimization rates per 1,000. Whites by blacks, 2.4. Blacks by whites, 1.8. Per capita offending rates per 1,000. Blacks against whites, 11.6. Whites against blacks, 0.38. That's a 31 to 1 ratio. For homicides, according to the FBI in 2019, black on white, 566. White on black, 246. That's a 2.3 to 1.
Now, one thing I do want to throw out there, because this poster, right, is claiming to have gotten their source from the Bureau of Justice. Yeah, during 2017 to 2021, a greater number of violent incidents with white victims involved white offenders. 8,721,450 incidents than offenders of any other race or Hispanic origin or whose race or Hispanic origin was unknown. More violent incidents with black victims involved black offenders, 1,884,250 incidents, than white offenders, 371,540. So, again, this is fear-mongering writ large in order to try and push a race war narrative. Because the purpose of this posting, right, is that it's supposed to be, you see, the black people are out to attack the innocent white people. And the image being shown here is of a black man attacking, like, a white woman. And it's just like, this is all meant to push a race war narrative. Because you can see here...
Ratio.
Oh, God. Surprise, Dave Rubin. If someone is actually looking at these statistics and, like, taking a look at them, right? Like, it's pretty clear here, and it's pretty clearly laid out, that the main victims of like, white crime are white people. The main victims of, like, black crime are black people. Largely because we have segregated our society around economic lines, and that's pretty shitty. But it also means people tend to commit crimes against the people they live in close proximity to. And, hey, that's how it is in America at the moment. We should fix that, but that is how it is in America at the moment. Someone goes out of their way to cherry pick all of these stats to not mention that, like, that basic fact, right? That basic premise that, like, white people are more likely to victimize other white people. Black people are more likely to victimize other black people. And, like, instead of pointing that out, which is very obvious when you look up these stats, this person is just picking the black on white versus white on black. That's it. And there's a reason for that, and it's not subtle.
Too long don't read. A white person is 31 times more likely to be victimized by a black person than the other way around. Black people make up only 13.6% of the American population. And then he wrote, "Tell me we aren't being hunted." And he links to the references below. Look.
Oh, black people only make up 13.6% of the American population. So it is a 1350 situation. And Dave is showing a racist fearmonger trying to claim that white people are being hunted by black people. That is what Dave Rubin is taking the time to try and like normalize as a talking point. This is just bigotry. It is just naked bigotry. Because another aspect of this is that this post tries to make it seem like this is like again, as the ending sentence says, "Tell me we aren't being hunted." It's trying to make it seem like black people are going out of their way to hurt white people because they hate white people. That's the narrative this is pushing. Like, black people, all of these incidents are being framed as hate crimes deliberately targeting white people, when the reality is that the vast majority of these incidents that this person is trying to cite are crimes that are done and arise out of a system that keeps black people in poverty. Because poverty correlates with crime. Poverty is the thing that correlates with crime. And hey, just out of curiosity, why might African Americans in our country be disproportionately poor compared to white Americans? Just out of curiosity. Might there be like, I don't know, like a history of being denied the ability to rent apartments or buy houses on the basis of their race, or, you know, being denied the use of integrated facilities on the basis of their race? Or perhaps the fact that we codified a system that systematically stripped them of property and turned them into property on the basis of their race. Maybe the denial of the ability to build generational wealth for like 250 years might have a long-lasting economic effect. I'm just spitballing here.
The race stuff is incredibly dangerous, and it's been incredibly dangerous for a long time. And I certainly wouldn't want anyone watching this and being like, "Man, black people are hunting us. Let's be racist against black people." We shouldn't be racist against black people. Duh. You also shouldn't be racist against white people. So if you are in the media right now, what you might want to do is start addressing reality instead of, oh, had it gone the other way, right? So let's just try it the other way. If it had been a 23-year-old black girl and some random white guy,
who asked if Dave Rubin was going to use the incident pictured, he absolutely was.
I forget Ukraine or anything else, but it was just a 23-year-old, very pretty, because there is an element related to that in this. But let's say a very pretty 23-year-old black girl was sitting on a bus, and some random white guy who'd been arrested many times, or even not, just some random white guy just stabbed her multiple times in the neck and killed her. You know what would be happening right now, right? Kamala Harris, is she's still around? Or all of these people, they would bring back Joe Biden's bones to have an intern tweet for him, and Barack Obama would be out there, and everybody would be out there telling us this is proof of what a racist country we are. They'd be going on about slavery, all of the things. We're all racist, we're all evil. There would be people in the streets. There's just no doubt they would try to relaunch BLM, like the Hamas riots are down a little bit right now, and they need to turn something on whenever they want. They would
the Hamas riots. Fuck you, Dave.
Have people out in the streets and everything else. It would be covered by New York Times, NBC, ABC, and everything else. Guys, let's be honest.
Holy shit. Did he just transition from talking about a murder into trying to sell a product?
Coffee gives you that quick little jolt.
He's fucking selling coffee in the middle of talking about a horrendous murder? Are you fucking kidding me?
And what? A crash,
Jesus.
jitters, that mid-morning brain fog, and before you know it, you're already pouring a second or third cup just to make it to lunchtime. But what if you're...
There's something like just deeply, deeply sick with these people. Oh my god, so much of this is coffee ad.
between what is actually happening in the world and what the media seems to, or what the machine seems to want us to see or not to see, depending on the narrative. The disconnect there is freaking huge at the moment. Elon Musk, however, I don't know if you've heard of this guy. He did buy Twitter, then Twitter, now X, and he allowed us to see a lot of this stuff. So he retweeted the piece that I just read for you right there with those numbers. And he said, did you know this? These are just the facts as reported by the government. One can argue about what the solution may be, but the facts are accurate. So
should I let Dave finish his point? No, I'm gonna interject here. So one of the things that I am familiar with when we talk about what you have a problem with facts? Oh, you have a problem with facts now. Liberals, leftists have a problem with facts. Well, guess what? Woke snowflake liberal socialist commie. I'm on the right and I have no problem with facts. Okay, but the problem here isn't that it's not factual. The problem is it is a disingenuous presentation of factual information, right? Because if you present factual information without appropriate context, or, for example, someone is deliberately presenting factual information without additional context, that can be problematic. And I know that I just checked like every single box for what like a conservative who might watch this would probably think, like, oh, it's problematic. Oh, roll my eyes. But when I would take a look at websites like Stormfront back in the day, which is, for those who don't know, a white nationalist website that would report the news, right? They would run true articles, but what they would do is that all of their articles about crime would be about black people doing the crimes. And so you can have true information presented, like, oh yes, these are factual stories, but if that's all of the stories and you aren't getting additional context, and you are just trapped in this media bubble, what you see is just, oh, black people are doing crimes all the time because you're reading a white supremacist article from a white supremacist rag, right? And so what I'm trying to get at here is that people who look at that kind of white supremacist reporting come away thinking, oh, well, like all black people are violent. You know, all black people are criminals. And it's because of reporting like that, because of presentations like that. You know, I noted this same thing when we went over the Quartering and his failed news site, because all it was doing was reporting on like black people doing crimes. That's all it was doing. And so you can present true information in a way that is disingenuous and misleading. And that is exactly what Amiri King is doing in this post, in order to arrive at the conclusion that they are hunting us. And when Elon Musk retweets that, amplifying it to millions of people, and says these are just the facts reported by the government about a statement that concludes with, they are hunting us, to imply black people are hunting white people, it's just white supremacist drivel. It is just a fucking lie.
That is the point. We can all argue about what is the solution to inner city crime? What is the solution to drug crime? You know, and we can talk about sanctuary cities, and we can talk about the lack of policing, and we could talk about all of those things, like how do you fix these things? Now, actually, I think it's fairly easy to fix, which is why we don't have it in Florida. You arm a populace, you teach people what's right and wrong. You have.
I'm sorry, did you just argue that Florida doesn't have crime? Let's see if this game still works. Florida man. Let's take a look at the news. Florida man caught on body cam video swinging machete at police officer at Walmart. This is 11 hours ago. You guys have no crime out in Florida, huh?
I think I got him right here in front.
Everyone's armed.
Hey, bro. Stay here. I got one side.
Grab the other arm. I got this one. Drop it! Drop it! Drop it! Hey, Captain Murder, bro. God.
Everyone's armed. Why are they having machete wielding incidents in Walmarts? Dave, I thought you said you didn't have this problem. I thought the solution was just arming everybody, Dave. Fucking piece of shit.
Proper policing, right? Like you have a culture of freedom and flourishing, and then things start getting better. But in these other places, they don't do it.
God, I hate Dave Rubin. I have nothing but contempt for this man. Also, that was just like the first Florida man result that I got. Like, here are the other Florida man stories. Florida man arrested and accused of working as a nurse without a license. Florida man sentenced to 15 months in prison for defrauding a Missouri company and others of more than $250,000. Florida man sentenced to life for sexual battery of a child. Former Florida police officer charged and arrested for traveling to meet child for sex. But apparently, I thought crime didn't happen in Florida anymore. Okay, wait. This is actually kind of a badass Florida man story. Wait a minute. This one's a good one. Wait a minute. We do need to hear this one. This will redeem the segment, I swear. This one is Florida man wearing Batman pajamas thwarts a burglary, detains suspect before police arrive.
Next to a real-life Batman helping police get the bad guy.
Fuck yeah.
The Florida man, because of course.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Apparently, told the police that he'd gone to bed in his Batman pajamas, which you see there.
Cool as fuck.
I love them. And his home security camera alerted him to someone breaking into his truck. He leapt into action and found the suspect in his neighbor's garage, so he detained the guy until the police got there, just casually detained him.
The suspect now faces 5 counts, including a felony.
Wow.
I just want to like go that picture, like absolute goddamn legend. Absolute legend. Fucking legend. Dude's like wearing his slightly too small Batman PJs. Wakes up. Fucking Batman doesn't believe in guns, Dave. Batman doesn't believe in guns. He detained him with his fists and his training. The seal of Florida is an image of a native woman standing on the shore, and there's a European slave carrying ship off the coast. Jesus, is that for real? Oh god, America's a terrible country. Batman doesn't believe in sleep either. Of course, because Batman's nocturnal. Yeah, the hero we need but don't deserve. Anyway, I got really mad at Dave there. But Florida man in Batman pajamas really salvaged this. He was indeed the hero, not just what we needed and didn't deserve, but what I needed and didn't deserve.
Riverboat Jack is coming to town. All the viewers gather round. Twitch and YouTube and swishy streams. All that content is bursting the scenes. Politics,